we can't have a conversation like this without at least briefly talking about MSAs. So many folks on the line are lenders that find their relationships with realtors pivotal to production. They're purchase agents. They drive a lot of the bottom line. And so, putting acronyms aside, what's your take on how do they maintain these relationships, and what does it mean when there really is no enforcement around these relationships today?
Well, I guess I would start off by saying the obvious, and that is that the CFPB's approach to MSAs is inherently inconsistent. There is not a lot of enforcement out there, but every once in a while you see a consent order come out. So we're all familiar with the Lighthouse consent order. We're all familiar with what the CFPB said in Lighthouse. They set out certain standards for an MSA, and they basically said you better have a third party verify that the services really are worth what you're paying them for it. You better monitor and audit that the services were done, preferably before you make any payments to your MSA partner. The marketing services should be general, should reach the general public, and should not just be geared to specific consumers themselves. But then they went forward. They went further and they said, but you know what, if you have a referral arrangement and you have an MSA, you might have a problem on your hands, or you do have a problem on your hands, because the contract with a realtor or a home builder or a third party to provide those marketing services, that alone is a thing of value. And so if you're giving them a thing of value and you have a referral arrangement, there's an understanding that they're going to refer business to you, then you might have a RESPA Section 8 problem itself. Now, the CFPB, from a legal perspective, is wrong in their reading. It's inconsistent with the regulation itself. That is not what the regulation says. The regulation, in fact, says referrals are not compensable except under the following circumstances, and then lists what Section 8C2 of RESPA says, and that is that you can pay bona fide compensation or the reasonable value for goods or facilities that are otherwise provided. So the CFPB is wrong in their approach, but nonetheless it is their approach to Section 8 of RESPA, not just MSAs itself. That is where they are today. Will that change? Hopefully that will change when they take a strong look at their own regulations, which they adopted. This wasn't just left over from HUD itself. They adopted that particular regulation X as well. So that's where we are with MSAs, and there is a lack of enforcement activity that's going on. But, I think that's largely a function of numbers. There's just so much staff out there. Yesterday I read an article that the CFPB and their investigations are backlogged. And so some things are just standing still along those particular lines. So MSAs are, it's the question that never goes away. Do I do an MSA? Do I not do an MSA? And it's obviously important to loan officers and to lenders because it's assisting them with their relationship with certain realtors and real estate agents. And it's clearly important to real estate brokers, because more and more they rely on what I call this ancillary income, money coming in from other sources.
Well, and so much of the misinformation that's available in the market today leads many lenders to wonder if they can have a relationship with a realtor. And I think that's part of the real misunderstanding is it is an important relationship to maintain. You just have to maintain it the right way.
Well, that's exactly right. And now when you talk about TRID, you better have an even stronger relationship with a realtor, because the realtor has certain expectations. They want that loan to close because they want that sale to go through, and they want that to be done on a timely basis. But they're not the only ones that want it. Their consumer wants it. Their consumer really needs it. Their client absolutely needs that. So your relationship with a realtor has to be even closer today. Or starting August 1st. You're going to need to be able to communicate with them on a fairly regular basis, as I said before, because you both collectively are going to have to manage that consumer's expectations.
Yeah, well, it represents a great opportunity to just get better, build better relationships, build better processes, I do want to thank Rob Chrisman for this question. This came from Rob. Also want to do a shout out and thank Sarah Middleton with Fairway on the push to ask questions that would help loan officers provide better leadership to realtors. So Sarah, thank you for that.